Hi, everybody, and welcome back. I hope you had a very nice spring break. It's so nice outside that I decided to film out here today. This week we are reading chapter 10, which is Managing Price and Customer Cost Perceptions, a really interesting look at some pricing strategies and talks a lot about the importance of getting the price right for the specific value of the product that you're marketing. So, a cool chapter in our textbook this week. I also wanted to share a quick interview with all of you. This week I did a special guest interview with a gentleman by the name of Ira Williams. He is the owner of a reputable and really successful local accounting and tax firm. So I did this interview with one of you specifically in mind. Joshua Rushing has explained to me that this is something that he's really interested in doing. So, Josh, I hope this is a really helpful and insightful interview for you. But I also think it's going to be fun for many of you who are just getting a general business degree and are interested in business in general. This gentleman has come from a normal kind of corporate job and started his own business. So he shares how he did that. And I think many of you are interested in doing that too. So not only is this episode for Josh Rushing, it's also for Talia Crawford, Olivia Sanchez, Daniel Simonson, Melody Correa, Todd Johnson, Michaela Hess, Shelby Eduardes, and Jocelyn Bates. I think all of you who are getting general business degrees will really be interested in this interview. So have a great week back. I'm glad you're here, and let's watch the interview.
Oh, all right. Thank you very much, Ira. We're so happy to have you here today. Ira is founder and president of Bulletproof Tax and Accounting Firm. I found Ira through the Sacramento Black Chamber of Commerce. So not only is he running a really successful, reputable organization, he also is a leader in the community and really someone we can all look up to. So thank you very much for being here, Ira. If you wouldn't mind just introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about your company.
Well, Emma, thanks for having me. As I would. Well, first of all, Bulletproof Tax and Accounting Firm evolved. Actually, that's not how we started the company originally. We just started it as a part of a tax franchise originally back in 2006, and then we decided to pivot and then become to add more value to our customers. So we that was what we saw was the missing link. Mm-hmm. Versus just completing a tax return and then doing a tax return and then that's over with. I saw the fact that clients needed to be educated on taxes, sort of like the way I was originally back when I was in high school. Actually, that's when I first started learning and developing an interest in taxes because I understood then that taxes was going to be a way of life. Yeah. It wasn't going to be something that you just kind of like hit upon and then it's over with and move on. It was going to be a way of life, and it's going to be a very important part of your life as you develop and grow and earn and start making money. And because you want to keep most of your money that you earn. I know a lot of times people look at especially students, they'll start looking at their first paycheck and say like, "Mom, what got me?" Yeah. Like what happened? And you think like, it's like, who robbed you? Who robbed you? And they say, they took money out of my check. I'm not there. I say, well, you got to pay the tax man first. And so you have to start learning that. Then once you start learning that, then you can better prepare for it. So we started adding value. And then in 2015, we moved the company and changed the name to Bulletproof Tax and Accounting Firm, where we started focusing more on accounting and payroll and tax planning, because those are the areas we thought would be the best benefit to business owners, but also to taxpayers.
Great. That's a good segue into a question about your different types of customers. So I think I'm right in understanding that you serve both individuals and business owners. Can you talk about different types of customers that you have?
Yes, so we do serve individuals and business owners, and that runs from individuals who with no sole proprietors at all, just service them. And then we also, like I said, we like to educate. We like to educate them on taxes as well. because as they develop and grow older, they're going to find out how taxes become a part of their life, and so they need to plan for that. And then, but more importantly, we really like and focus on the sole proprietors all the way up to C corporations. So do all levels of corporations and tax planning with them so that they can still profit more. Because the goal of getting into business, not only that, getting into business, but also the goal of earning an income for anybody is to enjoy a better way of life. So the only way for you to enjoy your better way of life, which you work hard for, is to reduce the amount of taxes that you have to pay. And then so more money for you just gives you a better way of life.
Mm-hmm. Great. Yeah, I think that's a great point. We can all relate to that, feeling robbed, right? Maybe some of us who are not students, we still feel sometimes like, dang, we're getting robbed. Yeah. Okay, good points. Can you speak for just a minute, Ira, about some of your competition? Who would you say you compete with to earn an individual's business, and who do you compete with to earn a business's business?
Okay. Actually, I would say, first that adage that people say, well, we have no competition. Well, everybody has competition. But my biggest competition is my customer.
Okay.
So in order to educate them from the standpoint of believing that there are tax laws out there that can benefit them.
Got it.
And so that's my biggest competition. Convincing them, so to speak, that the law is there for them. So, because sometimes there are some, I'll say there's uninformed tax preparers out there, uninformed tax companies out there that don't go the extra mile to add the value for a client. So they say, let's take the easy road and just make the money and then move on. So it's like, how fast can we get you in? Sort of like the fast food tax preparation, tax planning. Well, that doesn't do anything for you. It gets you down the road faster. Oh, I filed my tax returns. I'm done. I don't have to wait till next year. But did I get the greatest value? Did I pay the least amount that I'm legally able to pay? Yeah. That's where we want to focus on. So it's educating that customer. That's our competition, the customer who does not know or does not believe.
That's interesting, and also truly kind of a marketing challenge, right? It's an educational and, from our class perspective, an interesting marketing challenge. It's that the idea that until you don't know what you don't know, right? Until you know that there's a better offering, how can we reach you? So that's for the class, it's a good brainstorm to think about in terms of a marketing challenge. That's good. I wonder if you could talk a little bit about, so you're one of the first interviewees that we have who directly targets other business owners and operators. Are there tactics that you use, like maybe one of them is belonging to a chamber of commerce so that you are seen by other business owners and operators and well known to them? You become kind of a resource and someone they know they can rely on. How do you reach a business owner? It seems like such a difficult hurdle to get over, to really shake hands with and meet another business owner. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, because that's a great point. Because some of it, being part out there in the community, as part of the chamber, you can answer questions. People will ask questions. So that's one way of doing it. And probably the best way is that I found was, and even our marketing with our website, getting our website together so we can communicate a message, and then where you'll see something on the website that may appeal to you. It's like, okay, he works with somebody who's like me. He works with doctors. He works with dentists. He works with real estate agents. He works with a vast array of clients, and then also have clients all throughout the U.S. We're right now we have clients out in nine different states. So, and we reach them mostly through, a lot of them through word of mouth, from one client who then refers another and another. You need to go talk to this guy. And so is being out there, being available, asking questions of the client that maybe they never heard when they make a call in to us.
Mhm.
Schedule like a 15-minute conversation. So maybe we tweet something that they've never heard before. So that's getting that a little bit time. But then, like I said, there's also going back to getting them to believe, like, oh, but nobody's ever said that to me before. So maybe that's not true. Um, but the tax code supports it. So that's the that's our background. It's like say, okay, we'll give you the tax code to prove it. So we don't really want to do anything that's not within the tax code. So that's our background to prove what we do. But the marketing, the Google ads, and getting those out there um, have been some of the most effective within the last couple of years. Because initially, I got to admit, I was kind of like, okay, well, word of mouth, word of mouth, word of mouth. Okay. And it's just convincing me that the fact, like a client convincing me that like Google ads and Facebook ads are going to work. And okay, all they do is just take my money. Like, it's like, wait a minute. Okay, it's like, put that much in and I'm out before the end of the day. It's like, how does that work? They spent my money and the phone's not ringing. So what's happening? So I had to tweak and learn and understand and get with some companies who are very good at it and step out, just like I'm asking my customers to step out on faith, and they have to step out on faith with these marketing companies to get them to convince me that these things and Google ads and things like that will work if you follow a certain system to get them to work. And so that's what I've done the last couple of years, and that's been very profitable to us in reaching those business owners and getting them to call to ask the question because they want to save on taxes.
Great. Can I ask, do you have a team that is dedicated to marketing or sales in any capacity, or do you work only with an outside firm to help with that?
I work with two things. I work with an outside firm, okay, and I also have a coach of mine who helps me, who's in marketing for years. She helps me communicate with them, and so then I can understand. And then so her ability and knowledge of asking the right questions. Right. Okay, what can you do to help his business? So then that helps relate and help me build a better marketing program and a marketing team. So, great. But all of it is outside. Okay. It's a world of contracting initially.
Yeah, it is.
So you have to learn. We're not trying to. The goal is not to build 100 employees. Mm-hmm. Is to build a profitable firm. Mm-hmm. So to have those who assist us in doing that mm-hmm. and get a nice reward too. Yeah. About teaching them tax strategies. Yeah. I want to confine them to that W-2 mentality.
So, interesting. You're pointing something out we haven't talked about. This is great. This is great.
So the feature is really about independent contracting, getting in a business of your own and developing. And that's my belief. I don't want to pin somebody to that W-2 mentality any further than a job.
Oh, this is good. This is inspiring, Ira. This is great. And it makes you think about your own job, right? It makes you think about what you're doing now. Even students that are currently working somewhere can relate to that probably. They probably work for someone who contracts with someone in some capacity. And you're getting us to think about not just the marketing side of it, but the financial benefit side of it, which is essentially why we all work, right? So it's a good thought process. It's great. Okay, I wonder if you could give us a specific example of a marketing campaign or program that you have run recently.
Okay. Recently, I'll go back to that marketing company and developing those Google ads. Okay. And then running those Google ads and tying them in. So back when I was in corporate world mm-hmm. and selling, then we had the marketing plan where we called it was a certain time of the quarter where we're focusing on And so that was that target period. So you make everything try to come in sync all at the same time.
Okay.
So with our Google ads, and Facebook ads, and somebody posting on Twitter, blogs, and getting all those in sync and communicating, then that kind of gets you somehow top of mind.
Mhm.
And then it just kind of works and everything like sync. Like, for example, last year, one of the things we did about this time of year was to make the decision to keep our Google ads running when everything shut down.
Okay.
So it was like, okay, let's try it a little bit longer.
Yeah.
The benefit of doing that, though, at that time, is so instead of having to spend a higher dollar for getting that increase in space and getting up there in higher ranks on Google, we maintained the same amount and we jumped to the number one spot.
Great.
Because everybody pulled back. I didn't think everybody was going to pull back.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened, and then that's what generated more business for us. And exactly, our business grew. New business grew for about 20 to 25%.
Wow, that's great. That's really great.
A year when everything was like,
Yeah.
because we stayed out there, we stayed top of mind.
And you're referencing the pandemic, right? Businesses
Yes.
were kind of closing their doors. Everyone was kind of hunkering down, but you decided to stay the course with your investment.
Stay the course.
Yeah.
Typically, we were essential.
Yeah.
We were operating with business owners too, so that made us essential from the standpoint that we operate with business owners, not just filing taxes.
Mm-hmm.
So in hindsight, to make like a decision we made 3 years ago really helped us as well, from the standpoint that because we were essential, because the current businesses, it was the end of the quarter.
Okay.
Quarterly taxes still had to be paid.
Yeah.
Payroll still had to be done. So we had to stay open.
Yep.
To get those things done. So maybe they delayed tax filing till July, but they didn't delay the quarterly payroll taxes.
Yeah.
And the sales tax. They still wanted the money to come in. So we had to do that for the clients. So that kind of worked to our favor.
Yeah. Interesting. And interesting, like a stumbling on the right answer, right? Sometimes there's a little bit of that, not guesswork, but maybe educated guesswork. When you made the decision to stay the course, others pulled back, maybe rightfully so, right? We were all a little bit personally, even in terms of thinking about our own finances, concerned, right? It was a tumultuous time in the economy. So good for you. That's great. 25%, 20 to 25 is crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy growth for a year.
And for one heck of a year too. Yes. That year you did something good. That's great. Good for you. Okay, last question, Ira. I know we're running short on time here. Can you tell us if you have any advice that you might share with students who are interested in doing what you're doing, in terms of maybe someone who wants to do very similar work that you're doing, maybe own their own tax or accounting firm, work for a tax or accounting firm, or just own a business in general? Any advice that you would share with students today?
Yeah, I would say, first of all, become a standout. You want to be a standout, but in the area you want to be a standout in adding value.
Okay.
Don't do it for the money. We all need to eat. I need to eat. But the money will, if you do it for the money, it's a selfish reason, and it won't propel your business. You won't grow. First of all, you won't grow. So therefore your business won't grow, because you continually have to grow. But if you do it to add value, value to the company you work for, add value to your own business, add value to the clients you serve, you will grow. Because you would, for example, you would have to learn something different. Because some things your client might come to you, here's my situation. Can I deduct this? For example, my client said, hey, we got caught up in a Ponzi scheme. They arrested the guy, but we didn't, can we write that off? And I was like, I don't think so. But I said, okay, I'll check. Just appease them for a minute. I was like, okay, I'll check. And then turned around. I did do some research, and because of the situation that happened a few years ago, they changed the law, the tax law, that you could write off a Ponzi scheme loss.
Interesting.
If the person had been arrested.
Okay.
If they've already been arrested and prosecuted, even arrested, they've been arrested for it, you could now write that off as a deduction on your tax return. So that's just adding value. I could have just said, yeah, I'll look, and then don't look. Mm-hmm. Taught me something. I learned something new, added value to the customer. And then not only that, then he went out and told 10 people who else were caught up in the same Ponzi scheme. And then they became customers. So it's just adding value. When you just add value, don't think about yourself all the time, but think about the clients, the company you serve. That's the way. The money will come. The money will come. But adding value is always going to be the best way to go.
Great. I think that's really solid advice and a good perspective, because we are in school, right? We're in school to try to get a better job, and maybe money is often the focus. So I think it's a good shift in perspective that you're providing, to think about adding value and the money will come. I think it's great. I think it's great. Well, thank you very much for your time. We very much appreciate it. I know it's tax season. You're busy as ever. We're doing it on a Sunday, and here you are, dressed in your suit and everything. I appreciate you coming. I appreciate Aisha and all of her help. And I will send you a link to the recording once it's posted for students.
Okay. Well, thanks. I definitely appreciate it. And yes, Aisha is definitely a great assistant. Great. She even called me to remind me today. Like, make sure you're ready.
She's great. Thank her. If you chat with her, please tell her thank you. We really appreciate her help and your time.
Oh, yes, we'll do. We'll do. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
And hope it's added value to you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.